fan though.
Really?
Yeah.
Fortnite likes poker.
Yeah.
Like he was just.
He wants to play the World Series. I don't think he's probably worse than me. I think he doesn't know how to play.
I'd give Fortnite some tips.
I mean, he would love to have him, and he'd record him, and there'd be million
I would do
followers.
it for sure.
At my bachelor party.
Free bet from Action Dan, trying to get something going here.
Is this one you want on the? You want to talk about this on the stream?
Not really, but I have to get it off my
All
chest.
right, let's do it.
So
Is your wife watching this one?
it's wife friendly.
Okay.
It's more just my personal embarrassment. So I go to this club in Miami. I think it's 11, and Dead Mouse is playing.
He's mad.
And I get there, and it's like, first off, Bill Perkins is also doing his bachelor party at the same club, and he's at a bigger table at the front, and they're doing like Bill Perkins' bachelor party stuff on stage, and I'm like, how is Bill Perkins' bachelor party at the same bachelor party that my bachelor party is at right now?
That's fucked up.
We just have like smaller names. Anyway, by the way, I've never seen somebody once bigger in my life. But then next to me, in comes Dave Portnoy, okay, and I am smashed. I'm like, Dave Portnoy, and like, he's just kind of like,
It's like whatever.
like this drunk guy is just being really annoying right now, and I keep trying to like, be like, no, it's cool, and then eventually he's like, dude, get away from me. Like, it's like legitimately like, stop. And I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll buy this guy a bottle of liquor. I was like, hey, whatever you want, bottle on me, man. And he's like, leave me alone. I'm just like, oh god. And that guy. And now when I hear Dave Portnoy, I like shudder a little bit. I'm like, oh. You ever been like hammered? Like I'm trying to bro out with somebody and they're just like, stop, you know?
That's never happened to me. Yeah, you're on the receiving end of that probably a lot.
I mean, I'm sure I've done it before. Like someone told me once, like chill out, but yeah, I think usually.
So Dan elects not to double barrel the turn.
Shit.
No, if I was drinking next to it, I would want to.
That makes me sad.
Is he done?
I would say so, yes.
75.
I mean, a lot of farewell greetings we got from him. Yeah, he's not coming back.
You said he's coming back?
Maybe to say goodbye.
So those are Peter's chips that Tita is racking up.
Thanks for the money.
He apparently has some sort of personal obligation this evening. We'll be back tomorrow. So we'll see what happens here in his absence. Obviously,
A good couple of
the
days.
big winner tonight. Action Dan
Like if it was 501,
bets this river after checking back the turn. Checking the turn. Hands considering a call with ace high.
I still always thinking like those terms as far as like old school
100 days of stack, right?
So, can we call the next name off the list? There's a long list for this, right?
I think there were some guys before.
Dan looks so tilted at the moment.
I can see.
Play up, yeah. Just open this door. They should just walk in.
That's a good range.
And is just so capable generally of
Guy in the one seat at that table.
bluffing his face off.
In the 9 seat. Bring him up here.
Still hands with just ace high. Pulls the chips forward a bit while looking across at Dan.
I'll be interested to see if people text me and say, how was playing with you? I probably got, conservatively, like 45 texts. What's Tom like?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize what a big celebrity you were.
Come. I saw it.
Yeah, we figured.
I found it today.
没关系 you chips OK
我昨天说好的
OK OK
啊
拜拜没关系没关
啊
系
不好意思啊这个可以
Nice playing.
不要客气
Sorry
不要客气
tomorrow
不要客气
Tomorrow?
Peter
Hands still continuing to sort this out as
I'm going to have to write these down.
things happen around him here.
Bye Peter 再见 到投机
How do you say hit and run in Chinese? You have to learn that one. He just seems so tired. There is that, it's like an ailment
You win
when you,
And a nice call by Hands. Action Dan Down to $130,000 as Hands scoops this 228K pot. Hero calling the river with ace high.
What the fuck?
Hands likes his ace highs.
Ace high super bro. What the fuck?
Great call.
I didn't come to fold this year.
Oh, is this all like this is an overreaction to the fucking set from last year? Now you're like, I'm calling with a high card.
I don't think that would be popular, but I would love to see it.
Well, you got to do it where you like, for example, give some overlay, something like that as like a promo, like an occasional kind of. Right. In other words, imagine the prize pool was 12,000 and they get a 20,000 buy-in, and it's just like the advertising of it. Because sure, a bunch of the time they're going to lose it. Every now and then they're going to win, you know, 100K.
People do love those stories.
Right, and if you did it that say second place gets 2%, right, first place gets 70% and they get to play or whatever. That way the other guy still got a little sweat. Like.
3-bet from Dan. And Doug wakes up with king queen suited. He's of course aware of how active Action Dan usually is and has been today, but he lets it go.
Site to do it, they need to go.
Interesting spot for a cold 4-bet maybe. Steve flops a set though.
Maybe in a tournament, not a tournament, not run a team wrestling. The execution. Because then they can just cash out the chips. You can't be like, no, you can't cash the cash chips out.
16.
You can't really force them to play.
Action Dan.
You got left like 80.
This rough night continues. Fires 16,000.
Call.
Steve makes the call.
That's all right.
And quads for Steve.
And then every now and then, sure, they might not do it.
Leads for 1,000, as he loves to do. I think Action Dan is pretty lucky that his hand is not better. He'd be in big, big trouble with an overpair here.
I'm just putting them all in.
9 on the river, and Steve shoves. Dan with not a lot behind, but enough that this is still an overbet. Has to think of whether Steve would do this with either a worse hand for value or with some sort of misdraw. I'm not sure he would. That said, 9 on the river feels like a pretty good card for pocket eights. Dan probably in his head a little bit after this very rough day and week. Makes the call. Gets shown the bad news. Steve is going to stack Action Dan.
Good game, guys.
It sounds like
Yeah, man. That was a brutal beat.
Dan is going to be done for the night. A $248,000 pot. Heads over to Steve.
You guys smell? See you, man.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks.
And we're down to 4.